May profits be upon you. Welcome to another weekly Forex forecast. We're looking at the US dollar index. And the first thing we're going to do is check out what the economic calendar has to say about the week ahead. Nothing happening on Monday. No news drivers. Tuesday, we do have a good news driver, core CPI for the USD. All right, that's going to let us know what we need to do with the euro USD, the pound USD, the Aussie dollar USD, the New Zealand dollar USD, US dollar CAD, and US dollar Swiss. Yes, it's going to give us a lot of information, especially for the pound USD, which is running a little different than the euro USD, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Now, on Wednesday, we have core PPI. This is the producers price index. All right. This also helps the Fed, the US Fed, uh, determine which way they're going to go with the interest rates. Are we going to stick with a restrictive policy, stay become more hawkish, or stay restrictive, or become dovish? All right. Are we going to cut rates, which is unlikely? We're going to keep rates as they are, which is likely, or are we going to uh, increase the rate? Less likely, but that is definitely an open question, right? The CAD on 9:45 at 9:45 on the same day, Wednesday, we have their interest rate decision to make, and Thursday we have GDP for the pound. Nothing, no news drivers on Wednesday, so we got to get the action in before Thursday, after Tuesday. All right. We're likely on Monday to see some misdirection, some consolidation in the markets in lieu of the CPI coming out on Tuesday. So be careful on Monday if you choose to trade. A lot of people just say, I'll just wait until after the news, which is, for me, is more conservative and a little smarter. All right. So we're looking at the US dollar index. Up here, we have the monthly, the weekly, the daily, and 4 hour. All right, charts. All right. On the monthly, let's start here. You see that we are in an uptrend. All right. You can see, if I can get this right, you can see we are in this ascending channel. All right. I always talk about it. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time on it. We have the last break of market structure was this one here, where the market uh, had a bullish break of market structure here. And this automatically puts the buyers in control once we break structure. There was no, until we break this low, which caused this high, until we break this low, we're all bullish. If we break this low, that's when the market becomes bearish and the sellers are confirmed to have taken over. Now, that's big picture. That's big picture. We're at the support line of the ascending channel, and it looks like we have a rounded bottom and we're heading up towards the top. And that has been my my forecast for the last couple of forecasts, right? After this candle closed, the monthly candle for June, it closed above this consolidation, and we traded through it and closed above it. That's when the buyers took over. That's when the buyers became uh, went into control, and I'm waiting to see some more push, another push higher, and I think we're going to test this bearish fair value gap here. All right, we'll see a reaction from it, and then we'll probably push up higher. This becomes our protective low, our protected low. So I until we break past that low, until we close past that low, that would confirm that the market is now back in the bear's hands. Right now, we're in the bullish hands. Okay, now that is uh, the monthly time frame. On the weekly time frame, we're doing top down analysis here. On the weekly time frame, what do I have here? What you can see, this rounded bottom that I just described on the monthly chart looks like we are heading towards that high. All right, that weekly high over here, which is an old high, but nonetheless, it's still a lot of liquidity above it. I think that is becoming our most immediate uh, our next target. Yes, the more immediate target is this high, which was created 3 weeks ago. This is June 22nd, this week, the week of June 22nd, when it made that high, that becomes our next high. But I want you to see that we have a bullish fair value gap here where the market is finding support. You see how the market came back into that high. Came back into that bullish fair value gap and then rejected from it, closing above the low of the previous candle. All right. That is a candle to closure, right? But is this an ideal setup? No, not yet. Why? Because the last week's candle, when it closed, yeah, it did not sweep that low. It didn't sweep the low of the week prior. It didn't sweep the high of the week prior. This is an inside bar. What does that mean? It means we have to look out for the breakout. The breakout, the market could go higher or lower. And that's what I'm looking for. Now, so we have a bracket to look out for, right? Here and here, right? When the market closes above the high or low, then we're going to know for this week, for the week ahead, we'll know how to work the week following, right? If we get a close above, we know that we're going to see some continuation and possible expansion to the upside to hit our buy side liquidity targets. If it closes below, then this is the next level I would expect to see some sort of reaction because now we're coming back into the breakout levels. All right. We're coming back to test the breakout levels. And I do suspect that the market would find support here. All right. Right around these levels here. Now, I want you to also see that there is a range from this low to this high. That is the most recent dealing range. All right. And I'm looking for this pullback to find support and then a push higher. Let's go to the weekly time frame. The daily time frame, excuse me. And on this one, I want to take a closer look at it. Let me see. Boom. Right. Let's go. If I can just find, there you go. All right. And boom. All right. This is the daily. All right. And what I'm going to tell you is see this key level here? This key level, the market came back to it, found support, and been bouncing on it since. No closes below it just yet. All right. And where does that key level come from? You can see it's been an area where the market has found a lot of interaction with, even over here. All right, finding support and for support and resistance. All right, it is a key level. Okay, here is our weekly fair value gap, and there inside of that weekly fair value gap is the daily. We're looking at the daily chart. Here's a daily fair value gap. The market has not penetrated either one. All right, has not gone with a close below either one of these, the daily or the weekly. And this reaction is giving me the idea that the market may find these lows attractive for a sell side liquidity swipe. Yes, we found some support here, and the market has been bouncing, but it has not pushed up. Now, why is that? Is there enough here to get the market to push higher? Why did it fall down from here? Because up higher is the weekly, if I can get to it, or is that a monthly? I think that actually is a monthly. Yes, it is. there's a monthly fair value gap up here. Look at right there. Boom. A monthly bearish fair value gap that the market found gave a reaction to. It's going to turn gray. It's got to turn gray. Come on, man. Why y'all embarrassing me? All right. All right. So that is a monthly fair value gap. That is the monthly fair value gap. I thought it actually it did come into contact here. It left the relative equal highs here. So this is going to be a lovely draw, which is why I had that here. A lovely draw on liquidity there. I want to check that real quick. Sure enough, yeah, it is short. I must have saw it on a different chart because I swore that this came into contact with that bearish fair value gap. That's fine. We do have the draw on liquidity up there though. That draw on a uh, bullish movement. So I can see some um, a bullish reaction here. We have these highs. These are descending highs, which is also a draw on liquidity to push price higher to this high and this high, which are relative equal highs into this bearish fair value gap. Now, I suspect that that CPI number may come in to where the market uh, finds a reason to bring the, the US dollar down. Why? Because there is an unmitigated imbalance down here, untested balance, and we haven't had a, a push higher. Look at this when it first comes into contact here. This was a muted kind of reaction, and then we come back to it again. Yeah, we got this uh, 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 a big wick, a big wick away and all, but now I'm looking at this wick here. All right, I'm going to move it out like so, and what I'm looking at is the 50% of this wick. You know how I like to play it. If you've been watching my videos for any length of time, you know that these wicks represent um, can represent strength or weakness. If the market stays above that 50, we are going higher. It's more than likely that we are going higher. When you start to see the market close beyond the 50% of a large wick like this with a small body, there's a good chance the market is going to continue down. I have this. I suspect that we will have a short-term movement down, maybe a day and a half of movement down to sweep these relative equal lows before the market moves up higher. It may take us into this fair value gap down here. You understand? Then we can take this move up. So that would be a great scenario for me. One of the reasons why I believe that is because in this last dealing range from this low to this high, um, let me see if we can get that out there. Yeah, we can. Uh, there's an OTE level, optimal trade entry level. Market on with using your Fibonacci retracement tool, the market pulls up, and then you see this corrective structure to the downside. We haven't gone past the 50% of this trading range yet. I'm looking for that to happen because if it does, then we are in areas where we can expect the optimal trade entry level 786, 705, 618. This is the area that would present a very nice opportunity to put for to catch a bullish movement so that I can short the euro USD. I can short the pound USD, even though that's stronger than the euro right now and the Aussie dollar. The pound is one of the stronger currencies, but there's an area that it's heading towards that we may see some shorts. But that depends on the strength or weakness of the US dollar. And I think we may see, and what I'm going to look out for is that short term weakness before the movement higher by the US dollar. Now, if the US dollar uh, breaks this high, watch, listen to me. US dollar breaks this high, and we see a candle close above this series of down closed candles. I'm going to look at it, especially if we break this one, because this one is the actual low. This one created this low and failed to make a new high. All right, this low failed to make a new high, so it is vulnerable to a liquidity sweep. All right, I'm saying a lot, but what happens is if it breaks this high, this will be for me a change in the state of delivery from bullish to bearish, and I would love to see the market continue up higher. All right, I won't be looking for this pullback then, but if the market comes and sweeps those lows, then I'll be looking for the buy model to set up at the OTE levels, right around these highs, coming all the way over, right around these highs, coming all the way over, which overlaps 618, 705, 786. This is what I would love to. That's a perfect scenario to me. Temporary uh, bearishness for a setup for a lovely buy. Okay, that's where I'm at. All right, I'm going back to the 4 hour. I'm going back to the 4 hour. Let me save that. I'm going back to the 4 hour view if I can find it. If I can find it, there you go. All right, and we got the quad. I said the quad. All right, the 4 hour. Let me see. Yeah, I have that large candle there. I have the mark here. All right, you can see it there. We are above. We are above. We closed above it on the 4 hour. We closed above it as the market created this bullish movement here. There was a sweep of the hours, the 4 hours, two 4 hour candles prior to that, and then a wick to go higher. I like the bullishness here, and there is a chance. There is a chance that the market finds support around this area in the upper 50% of this wick, and I would, we might be able to catch that movement to the upside. Okay, that's it. I said a number of things. So I'm gonna keep my eye on this fair value gap here. We're gonna watch to see if this fair value gap here, the smaller one, will hold for the movement up higher to break this two candle series of down close candles for a change in the state of delivery. And then we can take the movement up higher into that monthly size fair value gap. I hope you enjoyed the video. I have another one coming out right behind this one, the Euro USD, and I will see you there. May profits be upon you. Thank you for watching.